Alright, so I'm going to go through the endocrine system handout, at least the model portion of it. We'll have microscope slides to look at when we next get into lab. This is the model that we will use for locating most of the endocrine glands. Also potentially could use pictures, so be sure to be familiar with finding the glands on pictures as well. So we're going to begin in the cranial region. And so up in the cranial cavity, of course, we have the brain, and very important gland, the master gland of the endocrine system, is the pituitary gland, which, as you know, is connected to the hypothalamus. Here's the thalamus, this oval portion of the brain, and the hypothalamus is a triangular region that is inferior to it. The pituitary gland is attached to the hypothalamus by the infundibulum, by a short stalk. Hypothalamus is technically part of the nervous system, but it does secrete some hormones, so we talk about it in the endocrine system as well. So it is an important part that you need to be able to recognize. So hypothalamus, pituitary gland, and then there's one more gland here in the brain region that's important, and that's the pineal gland, which is also an endocrine gland and secretes melatonin. So leaving the cranial region, the next set of glands are going to be here in the neck region. And we have the thyroid glands. So we have a right and left, right here, sorry, right and left. So it's hard to do this one-handed through a camera. So thyroid glands, and then associated on the posterior side of the thyroid glands are these parathyroid glands. So there are two parathyroid glands, these little nubbins right here, that are on the posterior of the thyroid gland, and there'd be two on this side, and there would be two associated with this lobe back here behind all these muscles as well. So there's 4 parathyroid glands total, 2 thyroid glands. Okay, can't hit that little slice. So next gland that we would encounter should be in this region, which is the mediastinum in between the 2 lung lobes, and that would be the thymus. In the adult, the thymus, and there should be a heart here, by the way, the thymus is very small, and that's why it's not present on any of our models. It's much larger in the young person, and then it decreases in size as we age. So for that gland, make sure you are familiar with its location from a picture. So the next glands, I'm going to have to come down into the abdomen, so that's why I'm removing organs. So I remove the lungs there, here goes the liver, and the stomach, your stomach. And you can actually see the glands now, but I'm going to take out this part of the colon as well. And so now you'll see a kidney, a cut kidney on this side. Here's the kidney on this side. So here's our right kidney. Here's the left kidney. Make sure you're familiar with right and left on these these glands that have rights and lefts. Kidney is just your reference point. The gland that we're interested in, endocrine gland, is right here. It's this yellow gland that's on the superior portion or pole of the kidney. That's the adrenal gland. So there's a right adrenal gland, and over here is our left adrenal gland. Okay. And then the last gland that we're going to find on this model is the pancreas, and it's this kind of minty green guy, and it extends out here and then kind of circles around down here as well. So it sits behind the stomach and a little bit inferior to the stomach. And the pancreas has both an endocrine and an exocrine portion. The endocrine portion is creating hormones that are going to be secreted into the blood. The exocrine portion is secreting digestive enzymes that will go into this white duct that's in the center of the gland and then eventually empty into the digestive tract. So that's the exocrine portion, but keep in mind that the pancreas has an endocrine function as well. So pancreas, adrenal glands, right and left adrenal glands. Thymus would be somewhere in this region. We have a right and left thyroid gland. We have 2 parathyroid glands that we can see here associated with this thyroid lobe. And then we come up into the brain region, and we have the pituitary gland, the hypothalamus, and the pineal gland. Now there are 2 other endocrine glands that you need to know, but we're going to locate those on the reproductive models over here. So this is the male reproductive system, and the endocrine gland that you need to know for the male reproductive system is the testes right here. So of course the testes produce sperm, but they also secrete hormones. And in the female, it's going to be the ovary. So here's the female model, bladder, uterus,
Up here above the uterus, this yellow organ is the ovary. Again, produces eggs, but also produces hormones. So there you go. If you have any questions, let me know. Be sure that you can find these organs yourself on these models when you're next in lab.